Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. I appreciate you tuning in for today's top deck because we do have something special and unique for you in this Jeskai Zirda Control deck. This is a Platinum to Mythic 6+ win deck. Now, we're going to cover a lot of things here today, so please feel free to go down in the description and jump to the timestamp that makes sense for what portion of the video you'd like to see, where we're going to cover the strategy and the objective of the deck. We'll dive through the deck list. We'll cover the sideboard, the how-to guide for our best of 3 matches. We'll play some best of 1 and best of 3 for you today in competitive Magic, and then Planeswalkers will wrap it all up nicely, talk about the deck again, afterthought, as well as some of the meta. So stay tuned for all that because we do have a lot coming your way, and I just want to say thank you as always. Again, I appreciate your support, so please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there and like the video. All right, so let's dive into it right away here. So it's Jeskai Zirda Control. So this is a white, blue, and red deck, giving us the Jeskai colors. Additionally, we have a good old companion here, Zirda. So this is a little bit different. We don't see a ton of Zirda decks. So I'm very excited about this one. But what this card does specifically is that each card in our starting deck has an activated ability. Those abilities cost 2 less to cast if they're mana abilities, and then this effect can't reduce that mana to cost less than 1 mana, and then additionally target creature can't block this turn. So I did want to cover that one quickly because we haven't talked a lot about Zirda, but the biggest piece around this deck is because it's control and because of this constraint, what you'll find is we don't really have much in terms of creatures. So it's pretty interesting, it's pretty unique, and it's something that's got some very key and specific win conditions. So you need to pay attention to these things. So first, we can certainly hit it with Narset if we get to the -6. Additionally, you could deal your 5 damage here and top things off. We also have Elspeth here as well, so some recursion. We get some token creatures. We have token creatures here with Omen of the Sun, and then additionally we have Emiria's Call, a nice top end where we can create 2 of those 4/4 white angel flyers. And then last but not least, we got Shark Typhoon 2 as a win condition, not only from a massive flying shark, but we can make tons of little sharks from everything else that we have in this deck. Now, the other key component here is that we have Midnight Clock. So Midnight Clock is very important because we can reset the clock with this card. When we hit 12-hour counters on this puppy, we can shuffle our hand and graveyard into our library and then draw 7 cards, then exile Midnight Clock. So very interesting. The whole point of this is really to control the early game. We got 1-for-1 trades. We got deck filtering and funneling to get hand smooth and hand draw and find our answers. Then we got board wipes and the ability to clear, and then additionally at that top end, a few things, as well as the ability to protect what we do have on the board or other pieces of our deck here as well. So those are pretty important. Now, the one call out that I do want to make is you could certainly add in the blue modal land as well. So we don't have that here. That could be something that you could toss in this deck where you can draw essentially your hand, have unlimited cards in your hand, and I think that would be something very powerful additionally here. And the other call out, as you guys know, that I'm a huge fan of is the good old Crawling Barrens. I think this deck is probably worth at least 2, to be honest. So that's something to consider as well. I like Castle Ardenvale. I'd almost go 2 on this because as you've seen some of those other matches, those tokens are really important. So that is the deck in a snapshot here in terms of the objective and the strategy. It's really a late game deck. It's a control deck, so we're really locking things down tight. Obviously, Zirda is also another win condition, but it's really a token-based win condition for us here. But we do have a couple other options to help enable those things. So that's what we have in terms of the Zirda or Jeskai Zirda Control deck today. Now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit quicker dive on the list. So 1, we already covered Zirda. 2, we got Giant Killer. So this guy is great and helpful against creatures. Additionally, the ability to tap things down and kind of hold the board steady. So people always forget about that. You're not really going to be tacking in with this. So it's just kind of a continuation on that delay game, which is pretty powerful. We got Essence Scatter. We got Negate. negate, so hard counters for both creatures, non-creatures. We got filtering here with Omen of the Sea, where we can scry 2 and draw a card. We got Fire Prophecy. So I really like this card because not only do we deal the 3 damage, we can also flip out a card out of our hand and draw a card. We got Maze Mind Tomb, which I love. And the other thing that I do like about this deck is a lot of it's 2 or 3 ofs. So there's lots of crazy answers, lots of things, and lots of different paths to play. We also have Shatter Skull Smashing here, a lovely modal land where it's going to help with some of that flooding, where we can deal damage to and split it across either 2 creatures, planeswalkers, those kinds of things together. And if X is 6 or more in terms of damage, double that up. We got Omen of the Sun. We also have Midnight Clock here. So I covered that already, but again, this is an artifact that comes in. We can add our counters to it. Otherwise, it will get an hour counter at the beginning of each upkeep. And this is perfect timing at the 3-drop slot because you've entered essentially kind of the mid-game at this point in time. And so this is really going to help elongate and refill your hand when you may most need it. Then we got Neutralize here. This hard counter plus cycle is really, really helpful. We got Soul Seer, so the ability to do 5 damage to creature or planeswalker. That permanent will also lose indestructible, so great against things like Heliod and other things that you may run into. We got that Elspeth Sun's Nemesis, like we talked about. This is a escape planeswalker, so for 6 we can pull it back and exile 4 other cards from our graveyard. Additionally, but we have to be careful because that's going to go against Midnight Clock. The other thing is token generation. Give our token some buff with the +2/+1 there, and if we need some additional life, we got great board wipers here between Shatter the Sky, Storm's Wrath. We have to remember that Storm's Wrath is also going to hit our planeswalkers, so we just need to be careful there. Then we got Shark Typhoon, so we have this enchantment where we can create more X blue sharks with flying whenever we cast a non-creature spell. We have Cycling, where we can create a bigger shark if we'd like to as well. We have the Amiria's Call that I talked about, and then last but not least, the Inspired Ultimatum at the top end, where we can deal 5 damage to any target. We also gain 5 life, and then we also draw 5 cards. So very, very powerful there. Lots of land to boot, 23 to be exact, plus another 4 in terms of the mortal lands, so 27, which is rather fitting. And then that is really what we have in terms of the deck. I covered some of those things that we could optimize on and make a little bit better, but we're going to go ahead now and talk about the sideboard. So in terms of the sideboard, we got Tormod's Crypt. So here we can sacrifice, exile all cards from target's player's graveyard. This is primarily going to be focused at Rogues decks. This is going to be focused at Lurrus decks. This will also be focused at Rakdos kind of mid-range decks. Any deck like this also that might be utilizing Midnight Clock, you may want to keep that in mind. Then we got Giant Killer. I would play this in terms of creature-based decks. So this is going to be potentially aggro decks to kind of help slow them down. It gives us a body as well in case we can't get the 2 drops in a healthy timeline. Also against things like Cruel Aggro, where we can hit creatures with power 4 or greater, mono green, those kinds of things also can help you hit Yorion. Then we have Disenchant. So here we can destroy target artifact or enchantment. Any deck running artifacts like mono black control, mono red control, mono blue control, anything running those maze mines, as well as things like mono white. Additionally, really at the top end here for those enchantment based doom decks, Yorion decks, those kinds of things. Excuse me. Then we have a negate. So again, another hard counter here for non-creature spell. You're going to use this against top-end decks, Counter Magic, Grixis decks, other control decks. You could run this against some of those Boros control decks that we did the other day, the one that ran the Merriment as well, and then obviously any of those Doom decks. Cleansing Wildfire. So I like this here a lot. Here you're going to play this, so it destroys target land. Its controller may search the library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle their library, and then draw a card. So this is a great option, an alternative to playing the land where you sack it for 3, destroy target non-land. Here you can actually nuke your opponent's land, and you're going to get a draw card. So this is going to be against decks that are running things like Crawling Barrens or leverage things like Castle Ardenvale, those kinds of things. So lots of good spots for that. Additionally, you can play this if you want to smooth your own hand out. you destroy your own land, you pull in the color that you need, and then additionally, and this doesn't have to be, again, it doesn't have to be a special land or a non-basic land. So that's also a thought to keep in mind there, and then you still get that draw card. We got another Midnight Clock. Here, I would play this against mid-range to late-game decks. Anything that you don't have to worry about aggro with, you're going to move it into a longer-term match or control-type match, so definitely get these on the board. That's a good one to have. Mystical Dispute, here you're going to run it against counter magic decks. You're going to run it against anything blue. This is an instant spell that's a hard counter. It costs 2 less to cast if it targets blue, so like I said, that's why I'm going to play it against anything blue, and then you still got that slip for 3. So it will lose value over time, but generally, when you need to protect things here, it's a good one to have. So any control deck, Yorion decks, it could work out well. Esper Doom decks, Dimir control, those kinds of things. Then last but not least, we got a good old Soul Seer. So as I said, we already got one. Anything that's big, this is great against things like Cruel Aggro. It's great against mono red, great against creature-based decks. You're going to want to run this. It also takes out Yorion and obviously gets rid of Indestructible. So keep that in mind. And it hits Planeswalkers. So a lot of people forget about that. So don't forget. All right, so that is the sideboard, my friends. Now we're going to talk about how we move that into our best of 3 matches in terms of an aggro, mid-range, and a late-game matchup. So first off, we talked about Rogue slightly as being unique. So just quickly, I would run Tormod's Crypt. You may want to run a Mystical Dispute, another Midnight Clock. You could always throw in the Soul Seers and things like that to hit the good old crabs as well. So keep the Hedron crabs, so keep that in mind. Now, in terms of those aggro decks, the biggest piece here is you're going to want to move in Giant Killer. You could run Disenchant, so this is also going to hit things like Great Henge. It's going to hit Cleave, so you can keep those in mind. Additionally, you may want to run the Soul Seer. So those are some good ones to put in there. What do you take out? One, if you are running the Disenchants, you could wait to let things hit the board. You could always flip out some Negates. You could flip out some Omens of the Seas if you needed to. The Giant Killers we want to keep because there's a couple of different plays there. We definitely can keep some of the top end removal here. Storm's Wrath is actually a consideration in my opinion in this spot. Just because if you are playing the Planeswalkers, you could take these out. The other thing that you could consider here again is also potentially neutralize. What you're going to end up doing is by removing the neutralize, you could also keep the negates. You can pull in your curve from a 3 to a 1 and a 2, which is going to be better, and then obviously open us up more for the late game. So that's kind of how I would look at that. These things again are like the Night stacks, Mardu, Boros, Winata decks, also Cruel Aggro, mono red, mono white, those kinds of things. Then when we talk about the mid-range game, these are things like Selesnya, Sultai, definitely the Rakdos Escape decks, anything that's, or Golgari, mid-range, any mid-rangey type deck. We're gonna mid-range, so line to mid-range makes sense, of course. So what we're going to look for here is if they're creature-based or non-creature-based. This is usually my 2 criteria. Creature-based, you're going to run heavier on Giant Killer and potentially Soul Seer. Non-creature-based, you're probably going to run Mystical Dispute, Midnight Clock. You may need a Cleansing Wildfire and Negate and Disenchant, potentially Tormod's Crypt. So depending on how you align, we do have good control here in terms of some of that the mid-range stuff, non-creature based, but if we do want to move in towards against that creature based game, we'll do Giant Killer and we'll do Soul Seer and maybe Midnight Clock. So really not as much that you're really going to have to move around. The only things that I would consider on the creature based side, again similar to the aggro deck, is pulling some of these things forward. Storm's Wrath might not be as good against some of the bigger creatures, so that's an easy one to cut, and you could consider on some of the counters here too, and some of the smoothing if you'd like. So that's that one. If you go on more of the control side, disenchant, negate, midnight clock, mystical dispute. So you got another 4 to 6 here. Easier to pull out. You can look to the shadow of the skies. You can look to the storm's wrath. So there's a good 6 chunk there. Again, pulling everything forward and not having to worry so much, than just protecting your board and playing later. So that is definitely key to this deck. Now, last but not least, we got late game. So these are other control type decks. This could be a mirror match. This could be a Dimir, a Dimir control deck, mono red, ramp, Rakdos ramp that we just did recently, mono control or mono black control, those kinds of things. So there again, we're going to move towards the negate, midnight clock, mystical dispute, maybe cleansing wildfire, maybe soulseer, maybe Tormod's crypt, maybe disenchant. So these are also again Yorion decks, control decks. So realistically, we're probably going to be 6 to 8. Again, you can look to get rid of these 6, and then you're going to optimize in this space actually. So this time we're going from the front end, moving it the other way to align towards some of those other late game matches. So Planeswalkers, that is what we got going on here in terms of the best of 3, how-to guide, and the main board. We talked about the aggro, the mid-range, and the late game lineup. So now we're going to go ahead and play some competitive Magic here, my friends. If you do have questions or comments though throughout, please let me know. Always happy to help. And there's our lovely mono black aggro / enchantment deck from yesterday. You guys should check that out. It was a lot of fun to play. Today we got the Jeskai Zirda Control deck. All right, so let's go ahead and pop in here. So as I was saying, if you do have questions or comments throughout, please feel free to ask down below. Here to help. Additionally, you guys can pop in the Discord server. That information is down below in the details. Now, before we get started, as always, a huge thank you. I appreciate your support, so please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there and like the video. We go first. Let's see what we got. So this is a Jegantha. So this could be a couple of different things. So let's go ahead here. We will keep this. We got a lot of different options. We got a turn 2. We got a turn 4 creature based, all those kinds of things. So let's see what Sir Murky's got up their sleeve today. Then additionally here, as we're kind of waiting, you guys can always track my untapped journey. I keep my profile down below, and I also have, there we go, that's nice. I also have the companion app available for you. I'm going to do this first, and then we'll decide on what we need. For you to share your journey as well. I love seeing how you guys are doing and things are going. So that was one of my thoughts. It is 4 color. We'll get rid of that. So we actually need a double white here, and I'm definitely gonna do that. So debate, I can pull Zirda now, or I can be patient and play Fire Prophecy. We saw a creature, so I'm gonna wait, and we'll go from there. So far, this is certainly an interesting deck. So we got 2 blues. We're going to need 3 reds. So let's do that. I'm going to try for this. We'll get our 2 little tokens. So we could have pulled that over. Enchantment deck. We'll put 1 in there. And we'll go another 2.
I am proud of my comrades.
We've got negate. Now we can use Castle Ardenvale as well. We'll keep this up for 1 more turn. Oh, there we go. We'll decline.
Find your valor and fight.
I'm gonna leave that there still. So at this point, if we hit another red, no, we're still short. It is, we got 5, it is 7. We could have tried Inspired Ultimatum for the top end here, so we'll see. So I could play this. We can play this on the next one, though. Need another red. We can certainly bring that back. Let's draw. Now, I could wipe the board here. This is a debate. This is a debate. I think I will. I will wipe it. Just because I don't fully know what this deck is, actually. I won't lie. So we'll play it, though. Oh, a Sanctum deck. So, good news is, I think, if I put a blue in, we need 3 reds. How many whites? 2 whites. We need 3 reds. 2 blues. So we just need to drop the blue. I'm doing math, my friends. I'm doing math this time. So we'll double up again. So it is 3 reds. 1, 2, 3. 2 blues. 1, 2. And 2 whites. And we'll do that. No, let's try this again. Target player, target creature. There we go. We clicked it right too, and we did the math. So that's what it was. A different Sanctum deck, Shrine deck. All right, Planeswalkers, we crushed it off the gates, right out of the bat with our Zirda or Jeskai Zirda Control deck. Pretty impressive. So we hit the win con, we did all the chip damage, played out exactly as we laid it out in our strategy and objectives. Perfect. Always nice to see those things connect right off the bat like that, my friends. All right, we got Spoons up here. Spoons, I hope you're doing well today. And we'll go from here. All right, so we got a Storm's Wrath. We got a few different things we can do. We got to go first again, and we got a negate. So I will keep this. We can nuke any creatures by turn 4, which is most likely. There we go. And we got an art set, so I like it. I like what we got going on here. We'll have to decide on the pathway again. So like we did last time, we'll have to kind of keep up with what it is, how it is, and how we would like to play it. And depending on what they play, I might save it and do a 2-for-1 kind of a thing. It's going to depend here. So we got another blue. I am going to play that tapped. So that was the one thing I didn't want, was Annex, because that's still going to give him a couple tokens. Let's do this. Debating here. I think we do this and give him the 2. We can knock both off with Shatter Skull. We can run Narset next time too. Oh, a Valakut. Now that is interesting. What do we want to do here? So 3 reds, I think it was, and 2 blues. We got 2 blues, so let's go with the 3 red. Might do that. There we go. That leaves us the Fire Prophecy open. It leaves us a Negate and an Essence Scatter as well, which is really important for us here. I'll take that off. I was debating if I wanted to hit it with Fire Prophecy and cycle a card out here. We will certainly keep that. So we have 2 whites, 3 reds, and then we just need a blue. So we can play that. I think that looks good in my book. Zirda is now in play. So we can figure out how we want to connect with our Inspired Ultimatum here, and then we'll go from there. Block here. Let's do... I don't know. I don't know. Let's do it. So we could wipe the board here. I don't think that's what we do. I think we pay the 3. We do this, and then we do that. And now we're refilled. We'll trade if we go to 3. We'll do the damage. Ooh. So we will do this. Well, let's see what they do. No, I blocked anyway, huh? Do this. Grab some life back. Grab that. wipe the board. And we'll look. That will keep. So if they can't kill us this turn or do enough damage, we're going to be in a good spot. We're in a really good spot here to do several things. Could have played Omen, but that's fine. We'll do that if they flash in here. We have plenty of control. And then after, we can start making a bunch of tokens. And Narset's going to be our refiller here against the Spoons. Uh-oh, Spoons left the room. So what we'll do, again, so we have 3, 6, 8. We got a lot of stuff we can use to protect ourselves here.
Many paths lie before me.
So we can use Castle Ardenvale. We also have our lovely Triome. Only artifact. I don't think they can cycle out of there. We also have our Essence Scatter. We will counter. We'll make them bring it back. Would have been maybe a better play, actually, there, to let him attack and pump, then hit Soul Seer. That would have saved the Essence Scatter, but that's fine. Do I want that? Could keep me out of trouble, but we can always draw with that too. Ooh, do we look? I think we do that, actually. Now we wish we had the board wiper. Let's see what he gets. There's the board wiper.
Your form is loose.
6.
To open the mind, you must first open the heart.
So we'll block on Robber. We'll hit the Phoenix with Fire Prophecy. Take the damage, remove the Phoenix. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Or I keep the guy up. We lose that. We already have one.
This was not my plan.
If we make a really big shark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we can make that a 9. They can pump twice, it won't be enough. We can kill it, still have 4. We'll be on lethal. I think that's what we gotta do.
Mind, body, and soul must be trained in harmony. Let thoughts flow like river rapids.
We can block with Ardenvale. We have Shatter Skull to take them off the board. They can bring this back in for 4.
My apologies. I lost my focus.
Oh, ultimatum again. Oh, good match. That recursion was brutal. All right, on to our next best of 3-1 here. So let's go ahead and knock this one out. Super fun deck. Playing very, very well for us so far. So let's go ahead and give it one more go. It does take a little bit here, but that is the way it is. Very, very nice. All right, we got Bruzodon. I'll say, here we go. Clock, lots of things that we can do. We go first again. We got this one again. So we'll keep it. We will keep it. Let's do this. We'll keep that. So this was the enchantment deck. We'll see if it's the same thing. Castle Vantress they lead with. Reds. So 3 reds. How many blues? We need a red off the bat though. We need 2 blues. I think we go with this red first. Is it a control deck? That is a good question. I don't know. Don't need the whites. It is a control deck. So far. Jegantha control deck. Well, I'll get Zirda over then. So we're going to have a number of dead cards. Which is going to be a problem. I need to get that clock on the board. There we go. That should hopefully be enough. Now we're in a good spot. Do we put Zirda on the board is the question. Let's do it. We'll put Zirda on the board. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. We have enough to hit with Inspired Ultimatum. As long as they don't have a counter. There we go. Alright. We can play this now. So what do I want to play? We'll play the Triome. Cleansing. Discard that. Alright, we need to get the Shark Typhoon on the board. So that's next. So we gotta get protection for that. Now here's where you'd want to have that top end where you can cast as many cards as possible from your hand. So we can do a few things here. Let's see what they do first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, I'm getting very dangerous here for a few reasons. So we can cycle. Oh, they're missing a color. It's Sultai. Oh, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be 9. There you go. Nice. Whirlwind Denial. Alright, let's see what we got. Oof, that is lethal. A Titan's Nest deck with Jegantha. Little different. Little different. Let's see what they got. Oh, there you go. Alright, we'll try this again. Let's see if they have it again. Oh, if only we had a negate. What we once used for a negate right now. So again, lethal on the board. Oh, what are they going to play? What are they going to play? Has to destroy a creature. Can't get the shark.
Enough of you.
Alright, still got lethal. Probably counterspell. There you go. Nice. So I don't have lethal, but we're going to take Guruk off in case they have something. I don't want to run into it. Absolutely. I did that.
I'll survive this.
Now let's see what we got here. We got that. And we'll go there. Now we can reload pretty soon here. Ooh. Oh man.
I will haunt your dreams.
There we go. Let's see what we got here. One, we can cycle. Oh, creature spell. Ooh, that is nasty. That is super nasty. Let's do this. I don't even know. There, we're good. Oh, such a powerful best of one run today for us. 3-0. 3-0. Very, very nice with this control deck. We got to see like everything. Again, I love when we can see that. So let's go ahead and play some best of 3 here. All right, standard ranked. Again, there's our mono black aggro / enchantment deck from yesterday. Super fun today. Jeskai Zirda Control it is. Oops. I'll go back there. So let's go ahead and play some best of 3 with this. All right, Planeswalkers. So we had a great best of 1, 3-0'd it. Super powerful with this deck. I kind of had an inkling that it's nice in terms of the 2-ofs, the 3-ofs. Plays out really nicely. Moniker. I feel like I've played this person. Anyway, Planeswalkers, huge thank you again, as always. Truly appreciate your support, so please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Trying to make my way towards 10,000 subs this year. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. If you enjoy the gameplay, like the deck, gonna play it, you name it. And then also other additional ways as we're waiting here to support the channel, down below in the description. Feel free to become a patron or a YouTube member. Lots of great ways for us to interact. And then additionally, Planeswalkers, don't forget, if you do got questions or comments with the gameplay, what I did something, always happy to kind of let you know, talk track, thought process, those things. And additionally, if you feel free to hop in the Discord channel as well. Lots of great conversation. Always appreciate the banter in there too. Great crew of people. So let's see here while we wait for Moniker to decide on what they're going to do. We should probably look at the battlefield here, see what kind of information we're getting so much information. Just kidding. All right, so I like this. We got hard counters, we got lands that we need in many different colors, so that we can play this. We're not going to get, yeah, we will get the plains, so that's good. We'll keep it. What are we playing here? Rogue's deck. All right, so Rogue's deck it is, my friends. Let's see what we can do with that. We didn't hit one. We didn't hit a Rogue's deck in our lovely best of one, so we'll see. I do have a feeling it's going to be a problem, so we'll see. So I'm going to be forced to play this here because I need the ability to counter something if I need it. But we'll see. Board wiping here is going to be extremely important for us. Negates are powerful because we'll have to shut a lot of stuff down too there. They got a nice starting hand. We're gonna be mincemeat pretty fast here. So I'm gonna do this and take a look, see what else I can get. That's not helpful. So we're almost dead. We're just about dead here. Unfortunately, what do we need? 2 blues. We need more reds always. I'm gonna have to mainboard this. Play it to survive another turn. Don't need to block here. I'm okay with that. We'll take the damage. Probably don't have a clue what we're playing, so that's good. Like, what the heck is this deck? They have lethal. Man, what a nice starting hand for these guys. We do not have a chance. So we'll go to the next match. That's going to be a tough matchup, my friends. Tough matchup. So what we're going to do... yes. We can do this. We're going to have to do that on ourselves. Giant Killer... isn't bad. We need more direct damage. I'm gonna drop a midnight clock here. Need all those. I'll keep the Elspeth in case we need the life. Need these. Need that. Fire Prophecy we need. Oh, let's go one midnight clock. If we reset, we reset. This is gonna be a harder. Oh shoot! I should have grabbed the slips. Shoot, 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 shoot. That was a mistake. That was an accident. Too busy and focused on doing direct damage. Ah, that's all right. This is not a good start. We can try this. I'll keep one of these. Dump Tormods. Get that guy off the board. Oh, I think we save that for later. Yeah. Pull the creature over now. Let's see. We gotta see how they're gonna play. They're gonna pass go on all these flash guys. So we're gonna run into that problem. We just need to figure out how we want to play it. Could have used that life. Could have used, or sorry, the Castle Ardenvale. Keep that. I'm gonna wipe it. There we go. Didn't have the double blue, so figured get Zirda on the board. We can cleanse their graveyard here. We'll get that out of there. is the... If I can cycle this forward to... Ooh. Three. They probably have direct kill spell. Well, maybe not. Then they're gonna have Agadeems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're close. Don't attack in. Ah. Should have attacked in, I guess. There's the negate. Oh, there goes my Storm Wrath. Oh, the grindy rogues. Oh, my friends. We'll try it. All right, we're done. We're not coming back from that. We don't have enough on the draw. So they're going to chip damage us. We're going to leave it at that. So we will close our day with a nice best of 1, 3-0, and a 1 match loss in best of 3. If you guys got questions or comments about the deck or didn't see enough in the best of 3 lineup, I'll certainly say go ahead and check out the best of 1 matches. We got to see everything, and it was really well put together. It wasn't a rogues match. So with that said, Planeswalkers, let's go back and check out today's deck. Again, this was the Jeskai Zirda Control deck. So we ran it really nicely against Control. We ran it nicely against Aggro. We struggled with the Rogues deck. Kind of figured, to be honest. We did sideboard some things in. Could have got the Mystical Disputes in there. Would have helped, maybe, certainly. But we got to hit them. So Tormund's Crypt helped. If we would have maybe waited on that or had some more, you know, could have got more value out of it, kind of a thing. But Rogues is certainly a tough match for this. So Planeswalkers, again, the objective and the goal, really tying down the early game, get to that mid-range, and then hammer home with some of the top-end stuff. We got to see the Inspired Ultimatum. We got to see Shark Typhoon work and everything else in this deck. Very powerful. Nice in terms of the 2 and 3 ofs in the deck, producing the results that we're expecting. You know, honestly, I think in a best of 1 world, this is probably kind of a tier 2 deck. Middle of the pack space. Performed well. We had a good run. Maybe it was just luck. Who knows? But I'll just say, you know, it felt strong, played well, and obviously we've seen the Yorion control decks do well, or just the general control decks at times, and I like this flavor here. And then in terms of best of three, you know, given the Rogues match, certainly going to struggle there. I think it's going to excel in terms of the lineup, in terms of kind of some of those aggro mid-range battles that we have seen. Obviously, we have answers to that. I do think Rogues is probably one of the harder matches for this deck. Additionally, the control match is certainly going to be tough on this too, just because we don't have, I'll just say, as much control. We certainly have some, but the big thing's getting that midnight clock and resetting the board, as we saw in one of those best of one matches where I was able to pull in, get the answer, and then slam the counter spell on the Jegantha Titan's Nest deck. So very, very nice. In terms of the best of three, I would probably put this, you know, mid to bottom of tier 2, maybe tier 3. Again, just because of you know, I like the linearness of decks. I do like the options of decks. The linearness makes it easier to be more consistent. It's going to be less consistent over time against more tuned decks. However, it does offer a nice option in terms of the breadth of decks, which is certainly where we're at within this meta. And then additionally, still plays very well, but you are at risk of the pocket play in terms of not being full control in terms of creatures or counter magic kind of a thing, so you do have to be careful there. The other deck that is going to can be problematic for this one potentially, I think, could be some of the Doom decks. We certainly have answers, but as things get slammed, we're going to be locked out of some items. We do have the disenchants, but that ability to outplay us and flood the board could be a problem as well. So a couple things to note. Very strong deck. Really like this one. Super fun. A nice alternative. Certainly great games in best of one. Long matches, just because it is a control deck, so keep that in mind, but a lot of fun win conditions nonetheless. So Planeswalkers, that is what we had today. If you got questions, comments, let me know down below. Happy to have you hop in the Discord server as well. It is in the details. As always, truly huge thank you. Really appreciate your time and support. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's top deck episode on this Jeskai Zirda Control deck. Again, a 6+ win Platinum to Mythic deck. Certainly competitive for sure. And obviously, you know, it's the best of 3 that this hit 6 wins, so it certainly can happen. We just hit a deck that was not a good one in terms of rogues, so always tough fought battles. But as always, again, please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you liked it. And you can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch as well to stay up to date on content like this. All right, Planeswalkers, you stay safe. I hope you guys enjoyed, like I said, this Jeskai Zirda Control deck. Certainly a lot of fun. I'll be looking out for you guys playing this one too. So if I see Zirda, I know that you guys maybe saw this. So Planeswalkers, you take care. I'll see you again soon. And until next time, Mythras out.